Hey everybody, Mike Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do the ACT3 update 17, I believe. And I'm going to show you what I've been doing. It's very boring work, back-breaking for that matter. But it's starting to look like something. So anyway, let's get into this. Okay, here is the loop. The run-out loop that comes around, and there's a tunnel portal right there and only goes in about a couple of inches. This is, like I have said in past videos, this is just for running out on the yard. But I thought I'd show you a little bit about of how that looks. Here's a shot from above of the rock castings that we have been looking at. Anyway, let's just move on and see what else is going on. Okay, gang, it's been really windy here the last couple of days. We've got 65-mile-an-hour winds today. It's not fit to be outside, so I've been in here messing around for the last couple of days. And as you can see, I've got a lot more of the ground cover done. Got the rock castings blended in. We'll pan around here, and you can see that I basically have the ground form underneath the viaduct. Let me get down here a little bit lower and we'll take a closer look. Okay, you can see that I've got the tunnel portal in, going through the hill there to the back runout track. I don't have any tunnel portal in the back, and I'm not actually sure I'm going to put one there, because I think the scenery right in there where you see the pink foam ahead of the track may be raised up some, so that at least an inch or so that you don't see that track back there. But that's yet to be determined. But nevertheless, now you can kind of see how the bridge bents are in the ground. I will be putting foliage around the bottom of those, so you won't see the fact that they're not sitting on concrete. I just couldn't figure out a way to make the concrete pillars and have it come out right and have everything the right height. Let me zoom in on a couple locations here for you. I'll be right back. Okay, you can see right back in there. Sorry about using the piece of foam. But I did put some plaster underneath the track back here, and I'm going to try and fill that with, at least partially, with ballast or something at some point. I may put a little more plaster in there. And then you can see how I've scenic, at least, or not scenic, but plastered around the bridge abutment, at least on this side. It's a booger to reach back there, as we already knew and as I've already said, but we do what we got to do. If I slowly try and pan around over here. Okay, and you see that I have loaded some plaster underneath this too. If I can't fill that in with anything, I'll probably put some foliage to also disguise that underneath the track there. Not sure what I'm going to do under that track, but nevertheless, it's kind of an awkward transition, so I will figure out some way of scenicking that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the whole camera and everything back so that you can kind of get the whole area here. Okay, you can see that the other tunnel portal in the back is back there, and you can see that I do have a rock casting there, and then the rest of that is pretty much right up against the backdrop. This all has a basic plaster ground cover on it. Starting right there, you can see how it kind of changes color. That foreground hill there does not have any kind of plaster on it yet. Once that base plaster is on, then I can start doing color and I can start doing foliage. Getting back there in that corner, as we've already discussed and as many have known already, as well as myself, that's a long reach back there, and it's kind of pretty hard to get to. But nevertheless, once it's done, it's done. I won't have to be back there again. And you can see that the only thing I'm missing now is just how I'm going to scenic this front edge right here. But for right now, I'm not doing anything there because I've got to when I lean back there, I got to put my hand right down in there. So I'm going to try and wait until I get that back part at least partially scenic, or at least color on it or something, before I continue on with that. Okay gang, here's what the scene is shaping up to look like there. As you can see, my turntable is all discombobulated, but let's turn around and see what else is going on. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got all this the base around here, and all the way up there, and all the way over there, and kind of down to the river cut. And then I'll take you over there in a second, but I have the lower portion around to the rock tunnel. Let's go over there and look a little closer. Okay, so here's where I have the cutout for the culvert. And if I swing around here and up, kind of gives you an idea of how it passes around there. And I can zoom in on this hopefully a little bit so that you can kind of see, hopefully. It's kind of bright white, but you can kind of see that there is some texture to that coming around. Now let's go take a look on the other side of the bridge. Okay, and here's on the other side of the bridge. I did put a couple of real small rock castings in there to break up the monotony. And of course plaster goes over all of this so I can form that into any kind of texture I want. But more or less you get the idea of what's happening there. And that's about all I got for you today. What you see done there in this video has taken about 5 rolls of plaster wrap. And it's going to take probably, to cover this up with texture, what I already have done, probably 2 of the 5-pound gypsolites. I have about half of a container left. But I think that's what I'm going to do, is start plastering until I can't plaster anymore. And I've been mixing the gypsolite with a little bit of the shaper sheet plaster, and it makes the gypsolite go further, and you still have the same amount of working time. So that's what I've been doing, is trying to extend how much of it I'm using. So anyway, gang, that's about it for today. And my throat is all hoarse from all the wind we're having, and we'll let you go. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this update. And as usual, thanks for watching.